Today's just job, we're just taking you along with us. We're doing a 02 Chevy. We're doing the front and rear brakes, all of them. So we're just getting in the car, just looking at all our shit, getting ready to go. And then we'll show you along more as we go along.
Chevy Silverado.
Alright, so we're here at the job. This is the 02 Chevy Silverado. Obviously it's got some reamers and it's raised a little bit. One problem we ran into is it's got the goddamn torque skis. There it is. So they require torquers front and top. So we're just getting those off, and then it's just a simple brake pad. So
check this out. We already let the customer know that he had the sway bar and everything had a lot of tension on it, but he said it had a little minor accident. So
the frame has been redone, so that's what he told us. We'll let you know more. So we got the front caliper off, we got the pads off, you can see them. They're not worn down that much, but the owner did want to get them replaced, so we're just replacing the pads. So they are dry lubricant, we will be drying these up, but the next step up is now just compressing them. So the easiest step is just put your old pad in there, get your compressor, and then just start compressing the caliper into there.
Pro tip, boys.
Pro tip by your boys, just continuing along. This fool. So just another tech tip. Just making sure that all the parts that where the brake pads are sitting on is just lubricated.
Yeah, make sure everything is lubricated besides the contact surface.
Yeah, so just the two pistons in the back. They don't need to be wet like you're about to go into your girl, but they just need to be wet enough where when they make contact, they're not going to squeal on you.
Yeah.
So we're just getting the driver's side going, and we're just getting the passenger, and then we're just going to get the rear next. So the driver's side caliper, everything is on. When we do use a compressor tool, it does leave a gap, so you make sure that the other side has the caliper on. Once that's all good to go into your cabin, press the brake pedal until fluid goes to the caliper, and then it'll fill the pressure up, and then you will have contact again. No need to bleed the brakes unless you're not cracking this line. No air will enter unless you don't crack it.
Caliper's going on, boys.
So passenger's going on. I'm just gonna put the wheel on now and then call this side good, and then start making my way to the back. Making my way back there, go in the rear.
Alright guys, so just make sure when you're doing the brake pads, when you put the caliper back on, that the bolts need to be tightened down to a torque spec. And then always make sure inside here is lubricated, and then a telltale sign of when it's full, you get a little bit of lubrication coming out on both sides, front and bottom, or top and bottom.
So like I said, we're just getting the passenger side all finished up. He's about to put it on. We're just about to spin it, pump the brake pedal, get all the fluid back to the piston, and then back clamping, and then we'll know that the front's good to go, and then we'll be moving on to the back of the car, the rear of the car. Another little tech tip for putting on really big wheels, just getting down on the floor, lining up your wheel stud and then your wheel nut, just putting your feet underneath the two tires, and then just lifting it up with your 2 feet onto the two studs. It's a nice little easy way than straining out your back. Once you're good to go, then just put on the lug nuts and then just tighten them down.
So it's spinning, then Jack pressed on the brake. We'll do it one more time. Boom. All right, that's that side. Let's do this side. Now we're on the passenger side. Boom, locked up, ready to go. One more time. Boom, solid.
All right, so now we're moving on to the rearwards. We can see the rotors do have what we call a train track in it. We have informed the customer he's just gonna get new pads. Some of the times they do scuff out a new surface for the rotor, but like I said, he doesn't care about it, so we're gonna ride on this. Another thing with the Silverado, the 02s, I think up to 07s or so, they have what's called like a dual floating rear hub for the e-brake assembly and whatnot. So when prior taking off this caliper, you do have to hold this nut. You have to hold this as going to, it will spin as so. So once you have that cracked, you'll just hold this and then keep on spinning, and then you'll be able to move that. So just another tip. I have, like I said, both the pads off. You might not be able to see it, but there's some cracking in them. Definitely low as far as on pad life, so definitely perfect time for pad replacement. As you can see, this only one pad's been train tracking, which means it's the front of it, not the rear of the rotor. So we might have a caliper problem. I doubt it though. Like I said, these pads are pretty low. These are the passenger side. So these aren't train tracking. They're cracked. But see, this rotor is good to go front and back. So the next time he'll do his pads, we'll tell him to go get new rotors, and then it'll be good to go. First thing, just making sure these are as well lubricated. These rear calipers are what's called a floating caliper. It's another reason why they can be for uneven wear.
Super dry.
Super dry, as you can see.
Unacceptable. Like, this is reason why you can get uneven brake wear. One side's getting more wear than the other side's, because
more bite than the other.
It's because
the floating pin it's just hitting one side of the pad compared to the other.
Exactly.
So we'll just be lubing both those pins up, get them all nice, and there it is. Some surface rust on there, which means that there's no lube. So we'll be doing it to both sides of the calipers, getting the customer all situated. Like I said, just another tip for when you have a car sitting. This is 02. We are in 2018, so stuff does rot. Dry out so as you can see, brakes are working, he's stopping, good to go. He's dropped a little brake stuff, it's all good. So just remembering,
another happy customer, baby.
Bring that when you do get new brake pads, make sure to seat them in hard. They do need to be like concrete. If you do set them in nice and soft, they're gonna be glass, what's called glazing. So making sure that when you do set in your brakes and rotors, your brake pads, that you're doing with a firm brake pedal. Other than that, you'll be good to go. On to the next job, baby.